I am about to tell you the 10 things you need to remove from your life immediately. But here's the catch. You can't tell anyone you're doing it. No announcements, no social media posts, no explaining to friends why you're changing. Why? Because the moment you announce change, you get the dopamine hit of praise without doing the actual work. Your brain registers the approval as success, and you lose motivation to follow through. Plus, people will sabotage you, consciously or unconsciously, to keep you at their level. Real transformation happens in silence. You remove these things quietly. You build yourself quietly. Then one day, people notice you're different, and they won't understand how it happened. Let's start with number 1. Remove the need to be understood. Most people spend their entire lives trying to make others understand them. They over-explain their decisions. They justify their choices. They need validation that they're making sense. And it's exhausting. Here's the truth. Most people don't need to understand you, and the ones who matter will understand without explanation. I used to do this constantly. Someone would question my decision and I'd launch into a 15-minute explanation, trying to get them to see my perspective. Even when they didn't matter to my life, I needed them to agree with me. Then I realized something. Their understanding doesn't change my reality. Whether they get it or not, I'm still doing what I'm doing. So why waste energy convincing them? Now when someone questions my choices, I just smile and say, "It works for me." That's it. No justification, no defense, just a calm boundary that says my decisions aren't up for debate. The mental freedom that comes from this is incredible. You stop seeking permission from people who have no authority over your life. You stop diluting your vision to make it palatable for others. You just move. Remove the need to be understood, and you remove one of the heaviest chains around your neck. Number 2, remove people who only reach out when they need something. You know these people. They disappear for months. Then, suddenly, your phone lights up. "Hey, how have you been?" And within 3 messages, the ask comes, "Can you help me with this? Do you know anyone who can do that? Can I borrow this?" These aren't friends. They're users, and they're draining your energy without giving anything back. The trick is you don't make a big deal about it. You don't confront them. You don't send a message explaining why you're distancing yourself. You just become unavailable. You're busy. You're tied up. Your responses get slower and shorter until eventually the relationship fades naturally. I had a person in my life who only called when he needed career advice, connections, or favors. Never to check in, never to celebrate my wins, never to just talk. I was a resource to him, not a person. One day, I stopped being available. When he called, I let it go to voicemail. When he texted, I replied 2 days later with something vague like, "Swamped right now. Can't help with that." After a few months, he stopped reaching out entirely. No confrontation. No burned bridge, just a quiet removal of energy from a one-sided dynamic. Your time and energy are finite. Stop giving them to people who only value you when they need something. Number 3, remove the habit of complaining without action. Complaining is comfort. It feels good to vent. It feels good to bond with others over shared grievances. But it's a trap, because the more you complain, the more you train your brain to focus on problems instead of solutions. I'm not saying you can't acknowledge difficulties. I'm saying stop dwelling in them without taking action. Here's the rule. If you're going to complain about something, you must follow it with either a solution or acceptance. If you hate your job, either find a new one or find peace with staying. If you're unhappy with your body, either change it or accept it. But stop complaining about it daily without doing anything. I had a friend who complained about being broke for 3 straight years. Same complaints, same financial situation. But when I'd suggest ways to make more money, he'd shoot them all down. Too hard, too risky, not his thing. Eventually, I stopped listening, because he didn't want solutions. He wanted sympathy. And I'm not in the business of enabling stagnation. When you remove complaining without action, you remove victim mentality. You become someone who either fixes problems or moves past them. And that shift makes you unstoppable. Number 4. Remove the urge to share your plans before they're executed. This one is critical. Every time you tell someone about your big plan, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. You feel accomplished before you've done anything. And that false sense of achievement kills your motivation to actually execute. Studies show that people who announce their goals are less likely to achieve them, because talking about it tricks your brain into thinking you've already made progress. I learned this the hard way. Years ago, I told everyone I was going to start a business. I talked about it at dinners. I posted about it. I got encouragement and praise. And you know what? I delayed starting for 6 months because I'd already gotten the emotional payoff. Now, I don't tell anyone what I'm building until it's built. I work in silence. I execute. Then I reveal the result. The focus stays on action, not performance. Remove the urge to announce. Replace it with quiet execution. Let your results speak louder than your words ever could. Number 5. Remove consumption without creation. Scrolling, watching, reading, listening. Most people consume content all day but never create anything themselves. They're input machines with no output. And here's the problem. Consumption without creation makes you passive. You become an observer of life instead of a participant. Your brain gets used to receiving instead of generating. I'm not saying never consume. I'm saying balance it. For every hour you spend consuming, spend at least 30 minutes creating. Write something, build something, make something. Doesn't matter what. Just shift from passive to active. When I started doing this, everything changed. I stopped watching motivational videos and started building the life those videos talked about. I stopped reading about success and started creating my own version of it. Remove mindless consumption. Replace it with deliberate creation. That's where growth lies. Number 6. Remove the need to respond immediately. We live in a culture that expects instant responses. Someone texts, and you feel pressured to reply within minutes. Someone emails, and you feel obligated to respond the same day. Someone calls, and you feel guilty if you don't pick up. Stop. Your availability is not a requirement. Your time is yours to manage. Here's what I do. I batch my communication. I check messages twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Everything else waits. Unless it's an emergency, and let's be honest, very few things are actual emergencies. It can wait a few hours. This simple change reclaimed hours of my week and dramatically reduced my stress. I'm no longer a slave to notifications. I respond when I'm ready, not when someone demands it. Remove the need to be instantly available. Your time will thank you. Number 7. Remove guilt that doesn't serve you. Guilt is useful when it corrects behavior. If you hurt someone, guilt pushes you to apologize and change. That's healthy guilt. But most of the guilt people carry is useless. Guilt for prioritizing yourself. Guilt for saying no. Guilt for outgrowing friendships. Guilt for wanting more than you have. Guilt for not meeting others' expectations. None of that guilt serves you. It just keeps you small and manageable for other people. I used to feel guilty for cutting off friends who weren't adding value to my life. Like I owed them my presence just because we had history. Then I realized, time doesn't obligate me to stay in relationships that drain me. I removed the guilt. I chose me, and my life improved dramatically. If the guilt isn't correcting harmful behavior, it's just emotional manipulation. Remove it. Number 8. Remove the need to win every argument. Some battles aren't worth fighting. Some people aren't worth convincing. Some arguments have no prize at the end. Learning to walk away from pointless conflict is a superpower. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you value your peace more than your ego. I used to argue about everything. Politics, philosophy, whose restaurant choice was better. I needed to be right. I needed to win. It was exhausting. Now, I let people be wrong. If it doesn't affect my life, I don't engage. Someone thinks something stupid? Cool. I'm not their teacher. I just smile, nod, and move on. Remove the need to win every argument. Save your energy for battles that actually matter. Number 9. Remove toxic positivity. This might sound contradictory, but forced positivity is just as damaging as chronic negativity. It's the good vibes only mentality that refuses to acknowledge real struggle, real pain, real difficulty. Life is hard. Sometimes things suck. Pretending everything is fine when it's not doesn't make you strong. It makes you dishonest with yourself. Real growth comes from acknowledging where you are, feeling what you need to feel, and then choosing to move forward. Not skipping straight to everything happens for a reason before you've processed the pain. Remove toxic positivity. Replace it with honest resilience. Feel the hard stuff, then keep going. And finally, number 10. Remove the people who make you feel like you need to prove yourself. The right people don't make you audition for their respect. They don't require constant proof of your worth. They see your value and honor it naturally. If someone in your life makes you feel like you're never enough, like you're always falling short, like you need to earn their approval, remove them. Silently. Completely. No matter who they are. I had a family member who constantly criticized my choices. Nothing I did was good enough. Every achievement was met with a but. But about this. It felt like I was always performing for validation I'd never receive. One day, I stopped performing. I stopped sharing my wins with them. I stopped seeking their approval. I created distance. And my mental health improved immediately. The right people celebrate your growth. The wrong people resent it. Remove the ones who make you feel small. Here's the framework. Remove silently. Don't announce these changes. Don't explain them. Don't justify them. Just remove. People will notice you're different. Let them wonder. Let them ask. But don't give them the roadmap. Because your transformation isn't a group project. It's a solo mission. Remove the need to be understood. Remove users. Remove complaining without action. Remove premature sharing. Remove passive consumption. Remove instant availability. Remove useless guilt. Remove pointless arguments. Remove toxic positivity. Remove people who diminish you. Do this quietly, consistently, and completely. And watch how your life transforms while everyone else is still talking about changing theirs.